all-weather Fighter Attack Squadron 121, located at Marine Corps Air Station Miramar, to Marine Fighter Attack Squadron 120.
Today marks the beginning of Joint Strike Fighters flying over the skies of Arizona for perhaps the next 50 years. That's another 50 years for the city of Yuma and the state of Arizona to do their part to help ensure this great nation remains strong and secure.
VMFA 121 is at the forefront of the most significant transition period in the 100-year history of marine aviation. We will replace nearly every single aircraft in the Marine Corps between 2005 and 2025. Certainly, it is the most significant transition in quite some time, maybe even as significant as the advent of the helicopters in post-World War II and pre-Korean War. But being on the forefront is nothing new to this squadron. The Green Knights have been a storied squadron since they were established just months prior to the attack on Pearl Harbor. Activated in June 1941 at Quantico, Virginia, 121 was immediately involved in the Allied offensive in the Southern Pacific beginning in August 1942, quickly becoming an integral part of the Cactus Air Force at Henderson Field at Guadalcanal, one of our Corps' most iconic battles that began 70 years ago this past August the 7th. The Marines of Fighter Squadron 121 at Henderson Field quickly established themselves over the fight over the Solomon Islands. Under the leadership of Major Len Davis and Captain Joe Foss, they completed 3 tours in the Solomon Islands, flying their F-4 Wildcats, eventually downing 165 Japanese aircraft. VMF 121 later flew another combat tour at Peleliu in F-4U Corsairs, adding another 44 aerial victories to an already impressive record, which included 14 fighter aces. In the years since World War II, this squadron, one of the longest serving in our Corps, has transitioned through several different types of aircraft. Among them, the F-8F Bearcat, the A-1 Sky Raider, the F-9 Cougar, the venerable Skyhawk that Senator McCain flew, and the A-6 Intruder, prior to receiving the Marine Corps' very first F-A-18D Hornet in 1989. The legacy of this squadron is indeed long and distinguished, having deployed in support of every major combat operation this nation has been involved in since 1941. The Pacific, Korea in 1951, Vietnam in 1966, Operation Desert Storm in 1991, Southern Watch in 2000, Enduring Freedom in 2002, and finally Iraqi Freedom in 2003. The squadron also completed multiple deployments to the Western Pacific as part of the Marine Corps' unit deployment program, returning most recently this past August. As you can see, the squadron has been on the forefront of marine aviation for quite some time, and I know they're more than worthy of the challenge that we now place before them. The Marines and sailors of 121 will continue a program that has made great strides in the last several years. I want to close by speaking directly to the Marines of 121, the Green Knights. The eyes of the world are upon you. I know that every one of you are up to the challenge of making this aircraft successful, relevant, and operational. We'll take things slow. We'll do things the right way. And in the end, you will deliver to our nation its very first fifth-generation operational combat squadron. It will exist for one purpose only, to defend America and America's interests. Lieutenant Colonel Scott Magwa, our very first Fleet JSF squadron skipper, we all envy you, brother. You're taking command at an important point in history. I'm sure you appreciate, probably more than anybody in this hangar today, the significance of this moment. This is what you've trained your entire career to do, my friend. There'll be challenging times ahead, but you're more than up to the task. Lead your Marines well, Skipper. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a momentous day in aviation history, not only for our nation, but more specifically for the United States Marine Corps. God bless America, God bless the United States Marine Corps, and Semper Fidelis.
Sir, the praise Lord.